These are four league-winning quarterbacks that you need to be drafting in 2023 fantasy football redraft leagues. We're going to go through and give you our top four guys that we think not only will pay off their ADP, but are going to help you win your championships. So I will I will start us off here with Danny Dimes, who finished as quarterback 7 last year. He's currently being drafted as quarterback 13th, going in like the 9th, 10th round. In the last half of the year, he was the quarterback 4 overall. There's only 2 quarterbacks that run the ball more than him, and that would be Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts. Not Josh Allen, not anybody else. Josh Allen and him ran the ball almost the same amount. Danny had 7 touchdowns and 120 rushing attempts. Then what did they do in the offseason? They added Darren Waller. They got the Biletnikoff winner, Jalen Hyatt, who is looking faster than Tyreek Hill right now. We got Darius Slayton healthy, Wan'Dale Robinson, who they drafted last year's back. They added Paris Campbell and Beasley. I know some of these names are like, but it's better than I think what they had, a lot better than what they had last year. Their offensive line should be taking a step forward this year. In my opinion, he is the safest QB to draft. Like, I don't see any way he doesn't pay off a quarterback 13 tag, but he has league winning upside as well, as I think he can definitely be finishing as a top 5 quarterback this year with how much he runs the ball in this new Daboll offense. So you need to be drafting Danny Dimes this year.
All right, coming in at number 2, we've got Lamar Jackson, currently being drafted in the 3rd and 4th round at QB 5. I believe Lamar Jackson is poised to finish as the QB1 in fantasy football in 2023 and has the potential to surpass his 2019 MVP numbers this year for 3 main reasons. 1, Todd Monken coming in at OC. 2, he has the best weapons he's had in his entire career. And 3, he's got one of the best O-lines in the entire league. So let's get into point number 1, Todd Monken. Dude won 2 straight national championships as Georgia's offensive coordinator. Obviously, Georgia has gotten top-tier talent the 5+ years or so. So what's important to note is Georgia's offense before and after Monken got there. So prior to Monken, Georgia ranked 48th in the nation in points scored, averaging 30.8 points a game, and were 61st in the nation in total offense. When Monken came in 2021, that went up to 41.1 points per game, 4th nationally. They averaged over 500 yards a game and had the highest scoring percentage in the red zone. Monken's biggest talent is his ability to develop quarterbacks and maximize their strengths. He transformed Stetson Bennett from a fringe walk-on to Heisman finalist in 2 years. So this bodes well for Lamar and mainly his passing game development. All right, number 2, he's got the best weapons he's had in his entire career. The Ravens added one of the top wide receivers in the draft in Zay Flowers. Say what you will about OBJ, but they went and signed him. And if nothing else, he's a solid vet leader in that room. So you've got those 2 guys on top of Rashad Bateman, who's been in the offense for 2 years now. And then factor in Lamar's top target, Mark Andrews, one of the most talented tight ends in the league. Also, his backup, Isaiah Likely, stepped up in Andrews' absence last year when he did get hurt. So he's a formidable backup option at tight end as well. Lamar is working with a talented wide receiver room, a strong tight end group, solid backfield, making this by far the best team, best offense that Lamar has had in his entire career. And then lastly, the Ravens O-line is one of the best in the league. They finished 2nd in 2022 in the PFF ranking as a group. They were the least penalized offensive line group in the entire league, and they excel in both run and pass blocking. They were the number 1 win rate in run blocking last year and the number 6 in pass blocking win rate, all while retaining 4 of their 5 starters. So draft. Lamar, big trust, Jackson, if you want to win your league this year.
That was convincing.
I'm
buying it.
You like that?
That was a lot.
You like that?
That was a lot of stats taken, and everything was point perfect. Lamar is
Dog.
You guys
Dog.
set up.
Unless he's playing the Browns, then he's
All right. I got number 3 here with the quarterback here to win your league. Guys, no surprise. He's been a top 10 quarterback since he's been in the league, and that is Justin Herbert. Right now, he is quarterback 6 off the board. Just right behind Lamar, about 6 or 7 picks, depending on where everything kind of finishes up. But I'll kind of throw some stats at you as well that Alex just did. So last year was considered a down year for Justin Herbert. He finished second most in pass attempts and of his career, and second most pass attempts last year among all quarterbacks, but that was number 1 of his entire career with 699 attempts. He finished top 3 in completion percentage at 68.2 and second in passing yards at 4,739. That was on an offense that was littered with injuries. The offensive line missed their starting left tackle, Rashawn Slater, for the majority of the season with a torn bicep. Keenan Allen and Mike Williams combined missed for 11 games. So his 2 top receiving targets, if you do remember, halfway through the year, he was throwing to like Palmer, Joshua Kelly. I don't think Joshua Kelly was the name, but he was throwing
Gerald
to
Everett.
names. Gerald Everett was there. Also, you have to take into fact there that Herbert broke fractured his ribs in week 2. And that's an injury that usually takes around 6 to 7 weeks to heal. He didn't miss a game. I think he missed like maybe a quarter of that game when he got injured originally. So barring that, he didn't run as much. He's not really a huge mobile quarterback, but he still does enough on the legs that still gets some points along. So he was down on rushing yards last year. He ranks 6 among the active quarterbacks right now in fantasy points per game. So he's finishing top every single year. The other big factor that makes Justin Herbert a league-winning quarterback is Kellen Moore's new offense coordinator there. The biggest thing with Kellen Moore is he's a pass-heavy offense. And with, Mike Williams being healthy, Keenan Allen being healthy, they drafted Quentin Johnson, Austin Eckler still there, and Gerald Everett. They have one of the most powerful offense in the NFL. With Herbert last year, he ranked 32nd among 35 qualifying quarterbacks in yards or depth of throw at 7 yards and 26 in percentage of throws 20 plus yards down the field at 9.7. Dak under Kellen Moore, these are Dak's numbers. So Dak under Kellen Moore for depth of yards here, he finished at 9.8, 8.3, 8.2, and 8.7. And then throws of 20 plus yards in the percentage was 12.8, 12.6, 12.2, and 10.7. So just imagine Justin Herbert, who's so far superior quarterback than Dak Prescott is, with now Kellen Moore's the lead offense coordinator there. I mean, I think Herbert can finish as number 1 quarterback this entire season. So I think he's going way too late, and I think you should draft him.
Yeah, I love me some Herbert. Even though those rib injuries, like he played through all that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. Nick?
Well, do you know who has thrown for more yards in a season than Justin Herbert? Josh Allen, Joe Burrow at the peak of their career. Dog pound, we on fire. Deshaun Watson.
Oh, Who, Nick?
Yeah, say it one more time.
Deshaun Watson.
Okay,
Dog pound, we on fire.
Who?
All right, so we're going back all the way to 2020, where he had 4,800 yards and 33 touchdowns. As I was saying, people are all over Burrow and Josh Allen this year to, potentially be your yards leaders. But I'm going with my boy Deshaun Watson. It's not just a homer pick. The Browns probably have the best receiving core that they've ever had. With Amari Cooper, we picked up Elijah Moore. David Njoku's in his perfect breakout age for a tight end. We see him catching one-handed grabs in the back of the end zone last year. He's kind of starting to break out. And we hear Chubb's going to get involved in the pass game a lot. His coach came out this year and said he should get 1,000 receiving yards. I love that for Deshaun Watson too. So he could put 3 or 4 guys up over 800 yards at least as a floor. I love his rushing upside too. So sneaky pick. You could get him late in your drafts too. Whether you're playing underdog, season long fantasy, he's upside, and I think he's an easy top 5 pick this year. So take Deshaun Watson while you can. He's coming right back into his prime.
Yeah, do like Deshaun Watson a lot. And before we wrap this video, I want to say that this is a year you need to be taking a good, like you can't be waiting to stream quarterbacks or just take a last pick. I really think that you need to be taking like a more of an elite guy. And if you miss out like on the Herberts, Lamars that we just mentioned, that's where Watson and Daniel Jones come into play, where they're still there as a buffer for you, and can still provide the league winning upside that you need. So that'll do it for this episode. We'll be back for our other positions, breaking down 4 league winners at the other skill positions. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, hit that like button, and we'll see you next time.